What's up, guys? Welcome to the first video on the Dirty Line Climbing YouTube channel. Today we're going to be reviewing the Redcat Ascent 18, starting the build on it, and testing it after we finish the build. So, the Redcat Ascent 18 is actually a smaller 1/18 scale crawler, as you can see from the comparison of my Axial SCX 24. It's not a lot bigger compared to a 24 scale crawler and a 1/18 scale crawler. That was my first kind of iffy thought about it, was the fact that it wasn't really a 1/18 scale size. But if we look underneath the crawler, you will see that it has portal axles under it, which allows for more ground clearance without having to add bigger wheels and tires or anything, which doing the stock run that I did on this truck, I found that it really helps it, because compared to my fully upgraded Axial SCX 24 and a slightly upgraded Axial SCX 24, it pretty much held its ground with my fully upgraded one. There's a couple of complaints I have. The tires aren't super soft or grippy, but I mean, I guess that's to be expected with a stock crawler. It has a brushed motor in it, but compared to the brushed motors on the Axial SCX 24s, you can actually slow crawl with it pretty good. Here, I'll show you guys real quick. It slow crawls fairly good. It kind of shocked me how well it slow crawled. It's not as good as a brushless system would be, but that's okay. We'll get a brushless system on the way for it, if we can get it to pair. That's another thing that I don't really like about it. It takes a little while to pair whenever you first pair it, but that's nothing bad. The steering's a little slow, but it's not awful. It's really quiet, but for a brushed motor, that slow crawl ability right there, I thought was pretty impressive, especially to be brushed, and especially for how quiet it is. It's not quite as smooth as I would like, which is why I'm going to put a brushless system in it later on, but nothing awful. So, what we have today for the Redcat Ascent 18 are some Mias brass hex extensions. I don't remember what size they are. I believe they are 6mm extensions, if I remember correctly. 59mm shocks, all field. So those will really help with the performance, because these shocks aren't awful, but they could use some help. And then we have a set of Endura fully brass 3-piece wheels that we're going to put on it. These wheels are a lot heavier than I expected them to be. They didn't have a listed weight whenever I bought them, so I wasn't really sure how heavy they were going to be, but they're heavier than the entire truck, so that's good. And then we're going to be wrapping those in the Endura cling-on tires. These are 64mm tires, I believe. Obviously for a 1-inch wheel. So I'm gonna build it and get back with you guys and we'll test it. I was just pulling the tires out of the packaging, and that tread is nasty on those things. They didn't look that aggressive on Endura's website, but I think they'll do pretty good. I guess we'll go ahead and just unbox everything. Y'all can get a close-up of everything. So let's get a look at these brass 3-piece wheels from Endura. So obviously they've got 2 screws in them to keep the outer ring intact, but I don't really like the fact or the look of an actual bead lock, but I wanted a nice 3-piece wheel, something to really hold the tire on. And I saw these, and I thought they'd look really good with the gray. I think I'm going to like it. As you see, they just screw in through the center there to hold everything together. I really like the pattern of them. And each wheel itself is pretty heavy, so that'll give us a pretty good upgrade in our center of gravity, lowering it a lot. So that's good. See if I can get these shocks open.
Don't do what he just did.
Why not?
Never use your teeth.
I always use my teeth.
It's bad for you.
Don't listen to this guy.
You should listen to me.
Don't listen to that guy. He's not even on the channel yet.
Not yet.
You got to get one. He's got to get a crawler first before he can be anything. Okay, so these are the. I don't remember what brand these are. I really don't, to be honest, because they're not Endura.
Some Amazon basics.
Yeah, there's some Amazon shocks. They're really stiff. I'll probably run no springs on them because I prefer no springs. Or on my Axial STX 24, I have no shocks at all. So I think we'll run no springs on those. Maybe flip them upside down and then have a pretty good time there. They are adjustable, so maybe I can figure something out if I adjust them, but I don't think there's much help in that. They're pretty stiff. But that's okay. That's okay. And then the last thing that we have are the hex extensions. Quit making my shocks roll, guys. Over there, blowing on them. I see y'all. Y'all ain't slick. Okay, maybe don't use your teeth. It doesn't feel very good. I don't need that. I'm independent. I sound like my girlfriend. I don't need your help. I'm independent. I'm independent. Proceeds to ask me to put her shoes on. Anyways.
Not shoes.
If I can get these open, guys, we'll review them.
Cut that out too.
I want them to see me struggle. I ain't gonna cut it out. I want them to see me struggle. Alright. These are the hex extensions. Nothing real crazy or nothing. Just a little bit of brass to get the center of gravity a little bit lower. Alright, guys. So, we're back. I have the Ascent 18 built. Well, first part built. There's a few little things I've still got to tweak. The shocks do get caught on the frame because they're a little thicker in the shaft, so I got to do a little bit of trimming on the frame. Nothing crazy. As you see from the front, it's sticking right there. Yeah, we have to do a little bit of trimming there. Another complaint: it's nearby impossible to run aftermarket shocks on these things. The way that the bolts are made for it, it's nearby impossible. But we figured it out. Had to do a lot of dremeling on the bolts in order to cut them out and get enough length out of them, but it'll be all right. With these little bit bigger tires, I did have to do a slight bit of trimming, not much, just a little bit. I really want to demonstrate it, but I mean, it's not going to be really much better whenever it comes to flexing because the shocks get caught on the frame. But overall, looks-wise, it looks really good, in my opinion. We're not done with it, obviously. This is just step one of the build. We still got to get motors done. We've got to get more brass on it, more weight. But we'll do a little walk around, play with the other RCs a little bit. Just have a little bit of fun real quick. The little bit of testing I did do, these tires, I'm in love with them. In love with them. But I'm running no foam in them, so they're really soft. I'm running no foam at all. That may come back to bite me in the butt if they end up leaking. Water will just sit in them. But if it comes down to it, I'll drill a little bitty hole in it, let it drain out. But yeah, we've got my brother here with his Axial SCX 24. Go ahead, Doug, and drive it in the frame over here. He just got it. He's still working on it. I think he should drop the shocks down here to these mounting points. Or did you have to cut yours too? No, yours are, well,
The motor.
maybe not. Yeah, the motor gets in the way. But he's got his front dropped. He's got the same shocks. He's got the shocks I had on my Axial SCX 24, which is right over here. If Landon will drive it in the frame here. We did take the wheels off of this, the wheels and tires off of this, and put them on here because I thought the white aesthetic went really well with the teal. I'm ended up running a different body on it. I'm running no shocks whatsoever. Only thing I'm running in the front is a rubber band for a pretty much if I can think about it, limiter strap. But it all still, I've got it ran in the middle, so it still flexes and all. That's how I get my crazy flex out of it. Servo hits on the frame a little bit whenever it's flexing. I'll do a little bit of trimming on the frame. We won't have to worry about that no more. Obviously the body's chopped to garbage, clearly. It doesn't look the best, but see, no shocks. But I've got Endura long travel links and drive shafts, so it's allowed to drop just like that. We've got an Endura steering servo on it. I'll do a whole breakdown of this in a different video. Let me tighten the battery up because Mr. Landon over here did not. But anyway, let's get into this and do a little bit of
You can talk.
what?
What?
Landon's trying to speak it to me and I don't know what he is saying.
You don't know what a thumbnail is?
Oh, a thumbnail? Yeah, I'll get a thumbnail.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Gosh, this guy. Thumbnail. I said thumbnail, dude. Jesus. Alright, that's enough for a thumbnail. Now, one thing about this Redcat Ascent, it'll scat. This thing will move. I really wish my shots weren't absolutely obliterating my frame, because I think actually I'd be on the ground right now. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll bring it over in the frame a little bit. But like I said, these tires with no foam, just straight up, no problem. No problem whatsoever. And these wheels add so much dang. I'm gonna get a test board and all, so we can do our vertical test and our side test and all of that. But I think for the little bit of money I've got into it, like 120-ish for the actual truck, and then roughly $80 worth of upgrades. I think it's doing pretty good. Obviously, I think I've got about $100 more worth of upgrades on the way. So it's still pretty budget friendly. The truck itself especially, and the truck itself right out of the box is actually really capable. I did a little bit of testing before upgrading it all, and it's actually really capable. But yeah, I think for the money, It's a really good truck. It's really fun. It's quiet compared to these other two loud things in front of it. Well, it's quiet in general, not just compared to them. That's what you get. That's what you get. That's why your tire fell off. That's what you get. And that's why you flipped over. Karma. What y'all get. But I mean, I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but it is just crawling over everything. And the front tire is actually still on the ground over here. I think this rear shock hung up on itself, to be honest. But I'll fix all that. But it's pretty flexy. I mean, it's not crazy, but I wasn't going for pure performance out of this build either. I was going for kind of aesthetics too. I just wanted it to look good. And I think so far with the bronze on the silver, and I'm gonna do more bronze obviously all underneath, I think that it's a really good build. Bullied off the table. But yeah, I think for the money, if you're just wanting to get started into rock crawling or whatever, this truck right here, Redcat Ascent 18, is the way to go. Now, personally, maybe it's just because I didn't buy name brand shocks. That could be what it is. I wouldn't necessarily replace the shocks on it. But if you want to, it's definitely possible. It's just, like I said, a pain in the butt to do. But I like the truck a lot so far. There'll be more videos on it, obviously. Again, about the scale, I'm gonna call it a 24th scale. I don't think it's really an 18th scale. So for the size of it, I like it more than my SCX 24. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my Axial SCX 24. But straight out of the box, they're nowhere near as capable as this truck was. And they're also really loud. So if you want something that you can drive in the house and not get in trouble or whatever, or just want something that you don't have to put money into to be happy with, I recommend the Redcat Ascent 18. And if you want to go smaller than this, they have a Redcat Ascent 32, same body and everything. But for a little bit higher price point, you can get the Redcat Ascent 18 Apex, I think is what it's called. And it is insane. It's a lot better straight out of the box than this truck. But I think for the price, this truck's a little better price to performance wise. So we're gonna end the video here. I'm gonna give you guys a little close up on the truck before we end it. We have our Endura brass wheels wrapped in the Endura Klingon tires, which are really soft because I'm running no foam like I said earlier. We're running the cheapo Amazon shocks. They're actually working okay. They're not great, but they're okay. And then obviously our Muse Hex extensions in there. You can't really see them, but they're there. And that's all that we've done to the truck so far. Like I said, this is part one of the build. But I think whenever the rest of the stuff comes in, I'll be really happy with the truck. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next video.